Hey everyone, and welcome back! Today we're gonna see if it's possible for us to beat Master Mode Terraria as an NPC. NPCs for the vast majority complain.
This house is ugly.
Are useless.
Arf, I'm a furry.
Occasionally get cursed.
Help!
Or provide garbage information.
Did you know you can make a workbench?
Therefore, for today's challenge, we can only use weapons that the NPCs sell, drop, or use to defend themselves. I cannot wait to see what mob castrates me first, so let's begin. We make our new character, create our world, and immediately start chopping down trees for our own personal benefit. With our wood, we make the guide's weapon, a wooden bow. A weapon that even lowly slimes will laugh at us for using, but I'll show them. Never mind. Instead, I will head deep into the caves to avoid getting further humiliated. We have but 2 items to get. Those are of course the Cloud in a Bottle and Hermes boots. We collect a few life crystals and open our first chest, a magic mirror. Not what we wanted, but acceptable. We open our second chest and get another magic mirror. A little redundant, but okay. With our third chest, we get, you guessed it, another f***ing magic mirror. Oh, magic mirror on the wall. If this chest is another, my hairline will fall. Okay, we finally get a Cloud in a Bottle. All we need now is Hermes boots. Hermes boots. Hermes boots. Am I getting pranked? Is this a prank? Hermes boots. After getting my 5th Cloud in a Bottle, a flurry of emotions raced through my mind as I wondered, what Indian burial ground did I desecrate to deserve this? After opening our 437th chest, we are finally blessed with legendary, exotic, rarest item in the game, Hermes boots. We celebrate, but are completely drained of emotion and happiness. Whoa! We hastily head back to the surface and start making our NPC housing. I actually worked really hard on the design of this one. Get it? It's a spaceship. With our Hermes boots and Cloud in a Bottle, we make an arena for the Eye of Cthulhu, who I foolishly tried to fight with a wooden bow. Somehow, after jamming 445 arrows into its eye socket, it's still not even at half health. Realizing this, we gracefully accept our defeat. Fuck you. After our humiliating loss, I'm furious, so I try peaceful meditation. And when that doesn't work, I decide to try the next best thing and go get a gun. We buy a katana in order to survive more than 5 seconds in the filth that is the corruption. And after destroying a shadow orb and getting the arms dealer to move in, I purchased the flintlock pistol. Since I am too poor to afford the mini shark, I am almost ready for my rematch with the Eye when all of a sudden, Goblin Army! Yay! That wasn't that bad. We summon the Eye once again, but this time we use a weapon that can actually deal damage. It was not expecting this and starts getting deleted. The fight's not over yet though, as halfway through he decides to grow a mouth and starts saying horrible eye-related puns such as ironic or lashing out, and even I guess this is it. We quickly put an end to him and hope that there are still viewers watching this video. I open my hard-earned eyeball goodie bag, equip the Shield of Cthulhu, and make way to the disgusting land waste that is the corruption. The Aidog World, also known as the Dumpster Worm, is our next boss. Luckily for us, we have plenty of spiky balls from that goblin invasion. We place them everywhere so that he may feel pain as much as I feel disgust for having to step foot inside his quote-unquote worm cave. After slapping him around with our spiky balls, do not take that out of context, we are covered knee-deep in worm guts, filth, and a decomposing scarf. We head back home and purchase the mini shark, also known as the pre-hard mode Slayer 9000. I then make way to the dungeon to talk to the most vile, cursed, and meanest old man.
Please free me, I beg of you.
Well, when you put it like that. No, I told you all, this old man could not be trusted, as he got so angry with a simple rejection that his own skeleton ripped through his body and is now trying to murder us. We do not consent to be murdered via skeleton, so we bust out our mini shark, which absolutely rips and tears apart both of his arms in quick succession. We then proceed to duck and weave through his skulls like the absolute gaming master that we are and secure victory. We head into the dungeon solely to free the mechanic, as we are going to need all the NPCs for this challenge. Now that she's free, I then launch headfirst into the jungle, where we find this green-bound shit stain known as the Goblin Tinkerer. This absolute scam artist will manage to simultaneously steal all your money and still not give you a good reforge. We free him, but not before we spit on his bald head. Heading deeper into the jungle, I find a honeycomb, but I accidentally summon the queen bee without setting up my arena. Luckily for us, she has a horrible tendency to stand still and just let us shoot her. She does this throughout a majority of the fight, and before long, she is defeated, without us having even built an arena. What can I say? Just another day of being the most full-blooded, testosterone-filled, micro-penis-having gamer out there. With our victory over the Queen Bee solidified, we journey to hell and make our bridge for the final boss of pre-hard mode, the Wall of Flesh. With our bridge completed, we pop our buffs and start the fight. Which reminds me, pro gamer tip fellas, if your girl is ever bugging you about not spending enough time with her, just call her, and I quote, a wall of flesh. And I promise you, she will not want to spend time with you. Ever. Found that one out the hard way. With 1/3 of the wall's health bar remaining, it becomes exponentially more aggressive and charges at us at Mach 5 speeds. This is made ever more problematic when we run out of bridge, are low on ammo, and slam face first into the Wall of Flesh. By nothing short of a butt-clenching miracle, we managed to beat it, officially beginning hard mode. Since we are now in hard mode, we have access to new weapons and NPCs, such as the Bound Wizard. We free him, equip his weapon, the Fire Flower, and purchase a shotgun from our arms dealer, both of which are going to be needed, as we are now tasked with beating the 3 mechanical bosses, the Destroyer, the Twins, and Skeletron Prime. Up first is going to be the Destroyer, so we build our Destroyer cheese box and prepare for this climactic battle. Cue the epic music. I have undoubtedly overestimated my damage. This has now become a race against time, one which I am destined to lose, as this albino motherfucker runs away at the slightest mention of the word sunlight. I head home, dejected and in disbelief that I only managed to get him half health. That is, of course, until I see my friendly neighborhood demolitionist. I then proceed to purchase an absurd amount of dynamite. So much, in fact, that if there was an FBI in Terraria, he would most definitely write my name on every list imaginable. Nevertheless, we casually chucked them at the Destroyer's unexpected body, absolutely dissolving any worry that I may have had about getting past this boss, and ensuring that we will in fact be having seared Destroyer for dinner tonight. This worked so well that I farm him a couple more times in order to make full hollowed armor for the upcoming fights. So I pick up my shotgun and prepare to face off against the Twins. I have a godly shotgun, a multitude of strange elixirs running through my veins, a ranger emblem, and full hollowed armor, and I am still not impressed with my damage. That being said, we are somehow whittling down spasmodism, and a sense of hope fills my body, as I know if I can take one out, the fight is mine. I get a bee's dick away from killing spasmodism before I am quickly mauled to death. God damn it! But maybe, just maybe, if I believe in the power of friendship, we can beat— Nope! This is not an anime. I have no plot armor. If I believe in anything, it's that I got my ass handed to me rather swiftly. Knowing full well, if I am struggling against the Twins, I probably don't stand a chance against Skeletron, which just leaves me banging my head against a concrete wall, not knowing how to get past these mechanical bastards. That is until the answer slaps our hairline out of our head and onto our back, slowly guiding us toward the Witch Doctor. This NPC is going to be pivotal, since they sell the blowgun. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, like a girl who is pretty, but not qualified, I am going to blow my way to that manager position. I make an underground crimson, and farm Ichor in order to make Ichor darts. We then summon the Twins, and proceed to pelt them with our saliva-smeared, mucus-covered darts, dealing both a great amount of damage, and grossing them out in the process. Spasmodism quickly gets tired of getting spat upon, and proceeds to charge at us ferociously. This would be rather worrisome if his friend could actually hit a shot on me. However, with Spasmodism screaming at him and me mocking him, he is unable to perform. As he scrambles for his special bottle that he swears is heart medication, it gives us just enough time to massacre Spasmodism, leaving us alone with the pill popper. Halfway through, he finally starts feeling the effect of his heart medication, but it's unfortunately too little, too late, and we beat our second mechanical boss. I am going to be a very sound sleeper, knowing that I do not have to worry about 2 giant sentient eyes trying to murder me. Instead, I get to worry about a giant sentient skeleton trying to murder me. And while his intent is real, his aim is not, as he flounders about trying to hit me with a bomb or laser that will never connect. In the meantime, I fly around him, hitting multiple parts of his limbs, while simultaneously calling him names such as Chrome Dome, Baldy, and Cue Ball. He takes great offense to this, but is unable to retaliate as he is quickly disposed of. With the 3 mechanical bosses now defeated, vile, leafy chuckling can be heard from the jungle. This is of course coming from Plantera, who cannot help but laugh at the thought of us fighting her with a blowgun. Knowing full well this is one of my worst fights, I make the biggest arena I possibly can in order to try and compensate for my absolute lack of skill. Now then, to answer your burning question of, did it work? No. Knowing there is no other weapon that can help me, I am left with no other choice but to, as the kids say, get good. This does not come in the form of better dodges or more accurate shots, but rather by the use of glorified armor, life fruits, and by chugging down more drinks than an alcoholic. We berate her with darts, slowly chipping away at her health and making occasional comments that I will raise my carbon emission tenfold if she does not let me win. To my sheer shock and awe, we get to her second phase, where she goes full manic mode on us, springing out a multitude of vine tentacles. Luckily for me, I have seen enough adult animated cartoons to know that I don't want those tentacles anywhere near me. There were many times during this fight where I narrowly escaped death due to sheer dumb luck. Good thing too though, because if I hadn't, I would have gone on an IRL melee challenge on my PC. After an unreal amount of darts, we finally beat Plantera, and with a record low of 3 deaths that I am willing to show. With Plantera defeated, we are in desperate need of housing for our NPCs. Perfect. Now we can finally start collecting all the remaining NPCs. Those are of course the Angler, the Stylist, the Golfer, the Truffle, and the Tax Collector, because not even in Terraria can you escape the cold hand of the IRS. With all the NPCs collected, the princess can finally move in.
Why do you have a lava bucket?
We murder her mercilessly and without remorse, all in order to get the Resonant Scepter, our endgame weapon. We reforge it to godly with the help of the Goblin Tinkerer, taking a record low of only 12 platinum. Pair this up with our Spectre armor and we are more than ready to bully Golem. We walk into the jungle temple and hand him his very own death certificate as we are taking chunks out of his health bar. We are humiliating and absolutely destroying him, but to make matters worse, I sprinkle in the numerous times that I had sexual relations with his mother. This then shocks him so much that his head is sent flying off his body. In a desperate final ditch to salvage whatever sense of self-respect he has left, he launches every projectile imaginable at me. I dodge them and steal whatever hope of winning he had left. With Golem defeated, I can head back to the dungeon to play everyone's favorite game show, hosted by none other than Game Master Lunatic Cultist. The rules are simple. Guess the right cultist and you get to deal damage, but guess the wrong one and you get your soul devoured by a spirit dragon. Like every game show ever, they are all secretly hoping that you fail. However, this is probably the only one that will actually try to murder you for it, after correctly guessing the real cultist a numerous amount of times, slowly dealing damage to him while at the same time getting hit by all of his attacks. We are eventually victorious and can prepare our uncontainable excitement for the Celestial Pillar event. Yay! Here's how that usually goes. Oh, that wasn't that bad. Oh, that wasn't that bad. Oh, that wasn't that bad. In case you couldn't tell, I really like the solar pillar. In fact, my favorite part is the graveyard biome that is created every time I try and do it. Or, better yet, the nurse reminding me of my countless deaths.
Wow, you have been defeated 251 times.
Nevertheless, after many deaths, we complete all the pillars, which just leaves the big bad calamari himself, the Moonlord. Not gonna lie, my first attempts were a little rough. But with practice comes arrogance, and before I knew it, I am dodging and ducking all of his attacks like an absolute pro gamer. As I tear away at his health bar, I am becoming ever more confident, thinking to myself that I have this in the bag. This is of course when the Moonlord decides to pull off his own gamer move and kills my nurse. Dick move. That was a very dick move. Now I don't want to say that the nurse is the only reason that I was doing good, but a strong case can be made. After waiting like a coward for my nurse to respawn, I summon Squidward once more. I proceed to fly as fast as possible while targeting his eyeballs and dodging his occasional death laser. It is at this point that I do not care what NPC I have to sacrifice as long as it's not the nurse. Having successfully defeated all his eyes, all that remains is his cold heart. During this phase, he will summon a wave of eyeballs, shoot missiles at me, and casually try to suck my soul, among other things. We remain focused and blast away at his heart until he inadvertently starts exploding. With the cult of calamari finally defeated, we can collect our trophy, or goodie bag, and know that we have officially beaten Terraria as an NPC. Now I can finally take a well-deserved rest, knowing that I have saved the world. Oh, you guys can suck my...